Good afternoon. I know it's a lunchtime and very difficult to catch up, but I'm going to finish everything as soon as possible to remain in a time. Creativity needs courage, dare to be different. Friends, we all know that we have to think out of the box many times in our clinical practice. As endoscopic surgeon, we often face the challenges and we need to master these challenges. There may be advances in the technology or the challenges may be because of the pathologies itself, the obesity of the patient. What I always say is don't limit your challenges, challenge your limits. Each day we must strive for constant, never-ending improvement. Endoscopy has given us the chance to be creative. For example, myomas. If you see every surgeon differ the way you do the myomectomy, what is very important is you need to prepare yourself well before you exhale. So this is how we do the mapping. I don't do the myoma, any MRIs. These are the mapping of a myoma my sonologist gives me, and then we decide which myoma, how to remove in 1 incision, 2 incision, whether I am going to open up the cavity. Big myomas, I don't care. Only when I am coming to the lowermost where the cavity is, or this myoma. I'll show you this myoma. The operative. What is important is a team. The patient, the anesthetist, your assistant, your ward boys, everyone is team. Now suppose these are the 3 myomas. They are all compressing the cavity. You need to be very, very clear how to take those myomas out. Outside it's a globular uterus, so you need to be very good in your preoperative preparation, then only you can excel your intraoperative performance. Any myomas which are compressing the cavities, we believe in doing intracapsular myomectomy. It means we cut the fibers and we remain within the capsule so that the cavity is not opened. Whenever there are multiple myomas and I have to take out from different section, I will always have one myoma out, close it out, and then I will go to the next myoma. What is important is try and avoid opening the cavity, remain in your intracapsular plane and avoid opening because the myomas were compressing from all the side. So it's very important for you that you don't. Now look at this. It was such a deep intramural myoma, and unless you cut in a deep, it's not going to work with you. Similarly, sometimes the myoma may be from the fundus to the cavity. Very important to rule out associated endometriosis, and then you go again intracapsular. What is important is when you take out the myoma, look at this. There may be bleeding. Don't cauterize this bleeding. This is a capsule. So you have not opened the cavity and then you do 2-layer, 3-layer sutures. The V-lock has made our life very simple. Because of the V-lock, you can have a beautiful obliteration of the space ending there. Sometimes the myoma may not be in. It is not the uterus or the cavity which is compressing. It's a huge broad ligament and it is causing ureteric obstruction and acute abdomen. Patient has a stenting and it's a mandatory for you to do the myomectomy before you give a pregnancy. But these myomas are very simple if you remain in a space, if you remain in the broad ligament. You remember there will be many major vessels, but if you are perfectly in your plane, you will land up in beautiful, absolute no bleeding, and these are your major vessels down. So be thankful for each new challenge because it builds your strength and the character. Sometimes you have a multiple myomas inside, patient is previously operated, frozen pelvis, you can't even see, and the bowels are strongly adherent. You have to prepare yourself. The bowel, sometimes you do beautiful bowel dissection, preparation, so the bowels are thin and you can easily damage. So try to remain in a very good avascular plane. Make your surgery as bloodless as possible, and then endoscopy is a bi-handed surgery. Remain in this beautiful plane. Now, unless you do the adhesiolysis, please don't jump for the myomas. What I'm doing is the colon is densely adherent. I will not use any energy source, but I will just use the Caesar. Now this patient has a hydrosalpinx. There may be ureter entangled. I'm just cross-checking where is the ureter going, and then you boldly go ahead and remove that hydrosalpinx as well. Only then your myomas are seen. Doing the myomectomy is not a big deal. You have one more in anteriorly. Preoperative sonography mapping has shown you it's a deep inside, and you will find that. So friends, what is important is whether it is myomectomy or hysterectomy. From 1994, when I started doing hysterectomy, I designed my manipulators and I still use them till today. I use the vaginal port always. This is a big uterus up to the pelvis, makes no difference. I don't like to use myoma screw. I usually prefer to go as bloodless as possible. You can see that there is no myoma screw. The uterus is completely deviated on opposite side. I don't have to go for uterine ligation at its origin. The ureters and uterines are so far away, and these are your bunches of the uterine. Don't complicate your surgery, simplify your surgery. So don't do the steps which are not needed. But sometimes if you have to go for uterine at its origin, it's very simple. Just I go by the posterior view, which is the oncologist view, than going from a medial view. And this is where your uterine artery at its origin, you will have your ureters traversing, and the only vessel which crosses and runs medially and above it will be your uterine. You just feel that, and then you put the clip, or you, if it is a hysterectomy, you can coagulate it. But if it is not needed, please don't enter in. Such a large abdomen, multiple fibroid, patient comes to you for a hysterectomy. First put in your camera and just visualize where are these all. So there is no pelvis, all your ports are very high. From the zipisternum you are watching and all. One thing which was very good in this case was she did not have associated endometriosis. Fantastic, just proceed. I usually do the bipolar endocoagulation because these are the large myomas, and then I will cut with the harmonic. As I say, I don't like bloody surgeries. So you will see the entire surgery absolutely bloodless. If the myomas are without endometriosis, believe me, that's the simplest surgery to do. Only thing is your ports are so high up that you don't reach. The cameraman has to focus where you want. Makes no difference about the uterus is 36 weeks or uterus is just 10 weeks. What is important is your instrument should reach, your instrument should be right angle to the angle you are performing, and the cameraman should be showing you what you want. And then you can see there was no blood loss at all. So this is important, your mental preparation for this. Sometimes this may be a vertical uterus. You may not get up to the zipisternum what you saw. This is completely many fibroids deep in the pelvis. Believe me, these are more difficult cases when you have large cervical fibroids. But what is important is all your ports will be above. So we don't grow when the things are easy. We always grow when we face the challenges. This is a case which I would love to see. Previous surgeries, endometriosis, frozen. Even this is a lateral port where there is no space. The only two instruments I love to use is your non-traumatic grasper and the Caesar. One small nick in a wrong side, you will open up the ileum. Otherwise also no problem, you can always confidently close it, but try to avoid any morbidity. Patient has not come to you for a complication. So you will see that just with the Caesar, I am making my few fibers more clear. I will cut those fibers. Try to go and just give small nicks. So fiber by fiber dissection is another key sentence for any laparoscopic surgeries. So I'm just going by-handed surgeon, traction only when you need it. You will find that you do extensive bowel preparation, all the bowel. This is not the peritoneum fold, but these are the loops of bowel. Need to identify and just go and cut this. Now when you finish doing this surgery, you go down, you find that everything is stuck. So now always go from the lateral pelvic wall and then go in the center. go from the tissue which is identifiable, where the anatomy is clear. Now the third hand has come, but don't allow too much of a traction. Remain in a good plane. So if these surgeries, I don't like to give any, it's almost done. Okay, so you try to be as clear as possible in different planes, and these are the cases with previous 2 cesareans. Do your bladder dissection beautifully, and then only you proceed for your further surgeries. So what is important is learn a good adhesiolysis. This is very, very important before you jump. I'm not going to do the frozen pelvis, but I would like to see the next challenge we face is the advances in technology. For last 4 years, we have started doing robotic surgery. I'm not saying I enjoy doing robotic surgery, doing routine hysterectomies and myomectomies, but believe me, the microvascular structures, tubal anastomosis, robotic is fabulous. The control is in your hand. You come with the console. Your hand movements are 560 degree. So anyone with 48 hours of training can learn robotic. Robotic is more simpler than any laparoscopic surgery, because look at the way your instrument. This is my first surgery. The baby is already 1.5 years old. She conceived after 3 months of the surgery, and we are doing so many microtubal anastomosis in robotic. And what is important is magnification, your hand movement, the dexterity, all helps you. I will just pass on hysteroscopy because in 15 minutes I don't think I can show you. But one thing I would like to say, another challenge. When you are doing your endoscopy, your ART, your high-risk obstetrics, you still fail with certain patients. And these are the patients where bad cavity, they don't want to go for a surrogacy, you want to regenerate endometrium, or those are the patients where ovaries are gone. There we all face AMH of 0.4 and 0.5. So another 2 minutes. After climbing a great hill, one finds that there are many more hills to climb. Another 2 minutes, I want you to listen with the open mind. Mind is like a parachute. It doesn't work if it is not open. And regeneration of the ovary, premature ovarian failure. And we all know that I have started stem cells, autologous bone marrow, way back in 2015. And 2016 we started really for the premature ovarian failure. We did world's first baby. 2017 publication. This 16th April we will be celebrating 2nd year, and we have just submitted our 20 cases of pilot study where we got in 65% patients regeneration of the ovary. It's a very simple technology. It's automated, digital. The stem cells get separated from the bone marrow, which we usually retrieve in 99% from the posterior iliac bone. And similarly, when you start thinking, if you don't challenge, you will never realize what you can become one day. And we started thinking, why not to regenerate the endometrium? We are doing with 2 technologies, either hysteroscopically or under ultrasonographic guidance. And let's see, maybe another, by 2020, we'll be submitting our next publication on endometrial regeneration. Initially, we used to do under sonographic guidance to be very sure, but now I don't do under sonographic guidance. What is important is this should be the end result to get successful implantation for our frozen embryo. So friends, stem cells, laparoscopy, robotic, obstetrics, you are never at the end. ART keeps you all the time thinking, reading what more you can do. Expect the unexpected, believe the unbelievable, and achieve the unachievable. This is the most important thing one can think of doing it. Never think, oh, I do laparoscopy, I understand everything. What next? You do ART, you do high-risk obstetrics, still you face the challenges, and I feel stem cells. So I sometimes feel I am working in a department of Ruby Hall where I have best of a fetal medicine, best of neonatology, best of obstetric, ICU, blood bank, and that's why you are blessed. Then what is needed is you work with passion. You have everything with us, so why not? So don't wish it was easier, wish you were better, don't wish for less problem, wish for more skills, don't wish for less challenges, wish for more wisdom. Thank you so much. I owe my all success to my department, my OBGY consultant, my fetal medicine consultant, my neonatologist, my anesthetist, and all my residents. Thank you so much.